Hello and welcome to Eat Your Backyard, my YouTube channel where we talk about all kinds of edible things, also beautiful things, tropical things. I also show you my chickens, my bunnies, and many more things that are in this beautiful backyard food forest. Okay, now today I'm going to give you an update of something I've been focusing on for the last, 8 or 9 months, and that is adding the pigeon pea to my yard. Now, pigeon pea, if you've heard of such a thing, comes in a couple of varieties that I know of. I was able to acquire some seeds from a friend of mine who had a mature plant. So the best time to get pigeon peas to plant yourself is off of a bush that is fully ripe, and that is to say the peas are actually dry on the bush. That's really the perfect time. They say once you have pigeon peas, you never don't have pigeon peas. They say that for a reason, because they drop a lot of peas. It's an actual pea tree. Unlike the annual variety that you would typically see in vegetable, you can think of it as a perennial pea tree. It's really quite incredible. So in today's video, I will show you my moringa in the yard, and we will take a look at the places where they made it. One of the things I encourage you to do is to plant your pigeon peas all over your yard to see where they do best. I'm sure there's lots of other things you can do. For me, keep it simple. Plant them in a variety of places, variety of factors, see where it does best in your location. Also, if they get a little bit of a pest issue, chances are it'll be localized to that one pigeon pea bush. That's what happened to me. I actually got a white fly kind of condition on a few of mine in one area, and it just stayed isolated to that. I got a little bit of caterpillar focus on another area. It stayed isolated to that. Of course, we picked off all those caterpillars and fed them to the sweet little hens. That was fun. But we were able to mitigate the pests that came by the location where we planted it. Also, in one area of the yard over on the southern side of my yard, they all died. I'm not exactly sure why. I think it's because I put uncomposted chicken manure around the base of the plant to some extent. I think that just fried them. That also gives you a little bandwidth to make some mistakes, which I like to have. I say you get as many chances to win as you planted plants in. Okay, let's go take a look at some in the backyard. In fact, we have some that are fully in bloom, and we'll look at the fruit. We'll look at maybe even they'll have some dry ones on there. I'm not sure, I haven't looked in a while. And we'll also see the little hens, which actually we planted some of these in the hen area. So one of the things the hens love to do in the morning is snap up those flowers which have fallen off. And they also love to eat the leaves. They love to eat the peas. So it's a win-win for the hens all around. We planted them in a bunch of places. Okay, let's go take a look. Here we are by my beautiful chicken coop, which I built, and you can see my little hens down in there. Right in this area is where I planted the pigeon peas. I also planted some down farther that way, which are blooming, but if you can see, there are pigeon peas literally hanging off the leaves everywhere, and the hens are hoping I'll come in there and pick some for them, so let's go ahead and do that. Hey, sweet hen. Look at you. Look at you. You want a pigeon pea? I think you do. And here it is, the full, magnificent glory of the pigeon pea. And if I pan up, you can see the beautiful flowers in bloom. In fact, we'll get a closer look at it. Hey, what are you doing? Don't peck my feet. What do you think? Abundant? Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. And in fact, I think we're probably going to have some maybe that are dry up in that full sun area. This is wonderful. All right, let's look at the flowers. Here are some that have not quite started to produce fruit yet, and it's a good place to look at the flowers. And you can see it's an exquisite flower. See if we can focus in. Really, really super cool. Okay, let's pick one and see what it looks like inside. Now you can tell this one is ready to eat because it's gotten a lighter color than the other peas, which are more dark green. And that really makes a difference. That's when the peas are going to be full size. There we go. Now I could let these dry and plant them. I think they're fully mature. But like I said, when I want to get the ones to plant, I want to get them when they're cured on the branch. I think that's the best way. All right, let's give that a try. Wow, that's great. I could just walk around and eat pigeon peas all day long. Maybe I will. Yeah, you would like some pigeon peas, wouldn't you? Since pigeon peas are so high in protein. Yeah, those are the full-size peas. Since they're so high in protein, they're really good for the hens. All right, let's see if I can. No? Here you go, chick chick. You chick chick. Lucky bird gets the pigeon pea. Let's see if we can look at this. Look at this full hand of pigeon peas here, and you can tell the ones that are ripe and ready. They're also the ones that are also closest to the center of the tree, right? So the first ones that come out are the first ones that are ripe. That one looks about right, but some of these dark green like this, it's almost got a darkness on the shell itself, and then when they get a little bit lighter, that's about when you know they're ready to pick. It is important that you let them fully ripen, I think, because only then will they be fully sized, which is important. They tend to actually, when they're not fully ripe, have almost a little bit of a, I don't know, just a weird flavor, but I think they are very close to an actual pea. Not an English pea, but close to a pea when you let them ripen fully. It's a little bit hard to do with one hand here, but you get the idea. Really good for you. High protein peas. Now, there are more benefits to this than just the food quality, and another benefit is that it helps fix nitrogen in the soil. So that's why it's a favorite of permaculture people, let's say, I would say. But if what you're trying to do is produce food, well, this is going to fit right into your world. Delicious. And plenty more where they came from. Now, here's another thing. Pigeon peas are great for storing. Once they dry, you can store them. Get a mason jar, store the protein. Great snack, great healthy snack. Have a jar of pigeon peas instead of a jar of nuts to snack on. How incredible. How incredible. And this situation right here was the result of a handful of 16 peas that a friend of mine gave me, which I planted all around. All 16 grew, all 16 were planted. I'm gonna do some more videos on how to plant these, so stand by for those. But this is just a quick, hey, let's come out and eat some and check it out and talk about it. Get interested in it. But oh, look what we found. When they're brown like that, they've cured on the plant, and I see there's others. Now this is what will happen. Perfect. They're good to eat like this too. The brown seed pods will be ready to plant. It's already starting to shrink a little bit, but this I could just plant as is. And they get a little chewy when I'm just gonna eat these. I'm not gonna plant these. In fact, opening this lets me know I'm gonna let them even go a little bit farther past the brown. Pretty soon they'll start dropping them down on the ground, and that's why once you have pigeon peas, you never don't have pigeon peas. Oh no, I dropped a bunch. They're very chewy when they're at this stage. Well, looks like the hens got more than I did, but you get the idea. It's really the kind of thing which also produced a canopy really quickly. It's the kind of thing that you could put into your yard quite easily. It takes not much to grow it. It's growing here in soil that is mostly sand, and it's being pecked at continuously by these little hens, yet it still thrives. How incredible is that? It's considered a pioneer plant by many due to its ability to set up camp in maybe difficult to grow places and be one of the first plants that you have in an area of your yard that you might not have had plants in before. That's certainly what happened here. When I built this chicken coop, I had to clear out this area, and that was not what I wanted. So I planted this as a pioneer plant here, and it certainly did the job. Now I've got shade, I've got food, I've got it producing a resource which I can store energy, permaculture principle, and it's very healthy, high protein. Protein's good for everything in your body. Muscle function certainly is key. Brain function certainly key. So if you can get it from vegetable sources, you're going to want to do that, and that combined with the protein we get from these incredibly nutritious eggs is really, I think, going to be a key to longevity. It certainly makes me feel really good and healthy. Oh no, we got a chicken escape.